Okay, this is a short tutorial on how to do image mapping with a U-level system. We're doing this actually, and the image mapping is going to be 3D the way we do it today. I'd like to start out, first off, I want to connect the tubing with a little Velcro strap that we've got here. That way as you're walking along, the tubing is not trying to pull the phone and everything off of the mount. I've got, of course, the display connects onto the top of the monopod with a magnet. And I like to have this little magnet mount on my phone so that it makes everything a one-hand operation. That way you've got your other hand free to work the buttons or whatever you need to do with it. Now, I've got the reel laying on its side. It works a little better if it's down flat like this. It'll work with it, the handle up, but this is a little more accurate and a little more stable. Whenever I start the job, I walk all the tubing out to the farthest location. That way, once I start working the job site, I'm not pulling on the reel and dragging the reel across, because your reference height is actually based on where the reel is located. Okay, now that we've got that part down, we're ready to start our mapping process. This is going to be our initial starting point right here. I like to start with a 0 most of the time, not always, but most of the time. So I'm going to hold the little 0 button down. We're going to 0 it out right here. Now, we're going to start the app. You can see we're connected. You want to move it around a little bit, make sure that your app and your level are connected like they should be. We're going into image mapping. It will have access to any photo in your photo album. We're going to start with this one. This is a drone image I did earlier today. Now, what we're going to do, we want to put the crosshairs right where we are. This is where we're standing right now, where I'm standing right now. Once we do that, we're going to hit the pencil and the ruler, bottom center. This will drop our first reading in. You can see where we're 3/16 of an inch. I'm going to get that a little closer. I'm going to 0 that out just a little bit better than that. I'm going to hit the undo button right up here at the top. It takes it off. And then we're going to go to 1/8 of an inch. And let's get that a little better. I'm going to 0 it again. All right, now set our crosshairs right back here where we should be. And we're starting out with a 0 reading. That's exactly where we want to be. Now I'm going to walk up the hill to our second location. I've got some cones down here. It helps. You can use cones, or you can spray paint the ground or what have you. Now you'll move the crosshairs to our second location right here. You want to make sure and give it time to settle out. Doesn't take that long. We're reading a little under 53 inches and some odd here. We'll drop our second reading in there. Now we're going to walk across the front here, across the highway. Now, the other methods that we have of mapping use the augmented reality. And with augmented reality, you need to be a little more careful about walking in a straight line, holding the monopod and everything the same distance from the ground and what have you. With our image mapping, 3D mapping, you don't have to worry about that. As long as you get from one point to another, it doesn't really matter how you got there. Center this up. Now we're going to go our next cone up here. A little over 70, almost 75 inches. We'll tag that one. Now we're going down to the farthest location down the lot. Now what we're doing is creating a perimeter. You can see the line that it's drawing from one location to another. That line will outline our working area and create a perimeter. That makes it easy to line all of this up once we finish. If we didn't have that, we'd have a lot of dots and you wouldn't know where everything connected with the real property. With that perimeter line, you can line that right up with the house, sidewalk, and what have you. We're 13.5 or so inches lower here than where we started. Now we're walking back up to the other edge of our front porch. We're going to settle out here at a little under 5 inches above where we started. We'll plot that. Now we're going to hit the top center button and we're going to close our perimeter. That just closed our perimeter. Now we've got a couple of other readings I'm going to drop in. These two cones in the center aren't going to change the readings very much from where they would be if we left them out, but I want you to see this so you'll know you can add interior and exterior points after you close the perimeter As I said, the perimeter establishes the working area. So this is our first cone right here. We're about 29, over 29 inches there. Now, you'll notice there's no perimeter line any longer, but the app still knows where the cones are located, where our readings are located. And of course, we're plugging the height in. This is going to be the last reading that I take here. Now, one other thing that we need to do, since this is an image map and not augmented reality, we have to add a known linear distance or ground distance in to where we, so that we'll know what of all our readings. It'll scale everything. Basically, it'll scale everything. So I'm going to go into the augmented reality, the AR button here, bottom right. Actually, I'm going to change the text on that also. I want to make that black. And then we're going to go down to the edge of our porch. Now it's got to look at the ground. This is using augmented reality, just like you were using your phone as a tape measure. We've got our starting point there. Now the level is actually measuring the distance across this front porch. That's what we're going to use to scale everything, so we'll know all of our other readings have the right scale to them. Now we'll have to move our little crosshairs to the other side here. And then we hit the little pencil and the ruler again. Now we've got 353 inches and 15/16. So that has actually given us a measurement that we can use to scale everything in. This is basically all the information we need to plot this. It was very fast and easy to do this, so we're going to save it now. We're going to save it under let's see. Actually, I'm gonna name this plot first. And then we save it. And all we have to do to email that now is we'll go back into view the readings. Here's all the readings that I've taken. This is the one right here that we just did. And we hit the little paper airplane, as I call it. I'm going to email this into my laptop so we can send this information into a design program. And that easy, we have mapped this area out and sent the data to our laptop. And then I'll show you how to take that data from a folder, bring it into a design program. Actually, it will be UVision, and how quick and easy it is to upload the topo map and then overlay an aerial drone image. And the whole process takes about 10 to 12 minutes, start to finish, including mapping it out. Okay, we've opened our UVision 3D landscape creator. We're going into tools. We're going into terrain, elevation, import wizard. I gotta duck this down just a bit now. Now I transferred the files from email into this UVision directory just before I opened this, started this video. Now we want the measurement file first. This is a measurement file we created. That's the data. These are the defaults. Your program should come with these defaults set. You might want to double check just to make sure they're the same. And basically, you just click through the defaults and you got a topo map. That quick and that easy. Pretty cool stuff. Now, I'm going to overlay a photograph. Actually, I'm going to take the photo from that the app created where we overlaid our readings directly over the photo. On the picture import wizard, you want the overlay function. Here's the photo from the app. It's a drone image that I loaded into the app and then put the readings directly on top of the JPEG image. Now I'm going to lose the grid. It makes it a little easier to see. I'm going to make this image larger. Now we've got to make the image a little bit larger. I'm going to bring it on up there a little more. Now we'll adjust everything around here, get it fairly close to where it's supposed to be. It's getting pretty close. I'm going to make this whole thing larger. Hope I'm not driving you nuts. Okay, we got it pretty close there. We could line it up a little bit better if we want to put more time into it, but you can see from that how quick and easy this is. We've got all of our height readings in, and the UVision Landscape Creator put all the topo in. We're in the program now, so you got all of your ground readings in, and we scaled it. These readings, since there's no augmented reality involved here, the program doesn't know how far it is from point to point. So we have to have one known distance from one point to another. That's what I did when I walked across the porch. We've got basically 354 inches here. If we want to put that in, I did that with augmented reality. It's not perfect, but it's typically within about 1%, sometimes a half of a percent. If you really want to get it perfect, you can measure this with a tape measure and manually put it in yourself, which is very quick and easy to do. But the program has to have one distance measurement on the ground so that we can scale everything. And basically, this entire process from starting the from starting the survey or the mapping process to uploading to what we've got right now took about 12 minutes. I mean, that's pretty fast and easy. Right now, you've got all of your ground readings in. There's no question on where things go or where the readings are, how long a retaining wall might have to be. You've got all the data right there ready to go.